Having an amazing website that's high performing, converting, etc., lovely images and fonts and colors is great, fantastic. But if you don't take SEO in terms of site engine optimization seriously, no one's going to find you on Google or Bing or whatever. And even if they do find you, what does the description say about you? It might be words that you might not recognize because they've been added in or they were from a template or a theme or whatever. And it might give a lot across the wrong message about you. Now, you can seriously help yourself out using RankMath. We use RankMath because it's our preferred SEO plugin for WordPress. And there are others as well, like Yoast and All-in-One or whatever SEOs there are. There are loads of them out there, okay? But we concentrate on RankMath for the simple reason that it is simple and easy to use. By the way, this is not an affiliated video. We are not sponsored or anything like that, and I'm not going to tell you to go and buy RankMath Pro. You do what you want. We're focusing on RankMath Free. We've got a WordPress Elementor website. I'm going to go through the RankMath settings. I'm also going to go through how we upgrade our homepage. Our homepage was fine, but I've gone and removed all the keywords now, and I'm going to redo it and show you how we do that step by step. And I'm going to show you how to connect to Google Search Console and how to connect and activate Google Analytics. The way you do it now is very different than how it used to be many, many years ago, okay? And there's a few things you got to do. But if you get these things done, you will have everything in place to monitor your activity and to help you get found on Google. Remember, fantastic website is great, but you really want to be found and discovered and people search and, click and get to you, then you better follow these tips. I've already got RankMath installed and I've done the settings. And I'm going to share that with you with exactly what I do, okay? So we're on the same page. Now, if you haven't got RankMath installed, you can get it from the website, rankmath.com, or you can just go to your WordPress website, add plugins, go over to search, and you would search for RankMath. You can't go wrong, okay? It's right there. Now, the RankMath is already active, but if it wasn't, you would install and activate it. Now, I do want to mention something, though. If you change the keyword, because it defaults when you do a plugin to keyword, if you change that to be author, you will notice there is also this instant indexing, and a lot of people don't know about this. This is going to allow you to very quickly get your posts and pages indexed onto Google. It is not a bad thing to get this on as well. So what you would normally do with RankMath is install and activate. Then you would go over to the dashboard. First thing you'll see is the setup wizard, okay? So whether you do it at a time or come back later, you want to go over here, all right? Don't be fooled by this and start going for the easy option in terms of going through the motions. This is really simple and easy to do. Believe me, you'll go through it and you'll be like, oh, was that it? There are other stuff you can do, which we definitely recommend you do, but this is the simple, easy installation process. Don't go for easy, always go for advanced. Click that and then click Start Wizard. This is the point when you now need to start kind of branding and naming your website and what it's all about. So if you're an education facility, it might be a school. Maybe you're a gas engineer. You would be putting in your Web Squadron is, Web Squadron is who we are because that's our site identity in WordPress. But you're going to decide, are you a personal blog, a community, small business web shop? We go for other business website because we're not just a personal blog. Look, you do have options here, okay? We're just going to go for other. You could go for small business as well. Business type, because we do training, we're not just building websites, okay? We don't just do, we also train and educate people as well. We've gone for the education organization. You have a range of options here to select, okay? So go through and pick the one that is most appropriate to you. I am going to disappoint you by saying if you start to type in web designer or web developer or technology, nothing is going to come up, okay? So please pick appropriately what suits you. Down here, we obviously have our company name that we've added in, and we've uploaded our logo and what we would have on our social sharing icon. So I have done previous videos where I have said that if you have your logo and it's horizontal or whatever, please make sure you got a square one. Most likely it's going to be the same image that you might be using as your favicon for your WordPress website as well. So just get and pick your most appropriate image. Once you've done that, save and continue. It's super simple so far, okay? This is not, record-breaking, difficult. This is where we're going to slightly break away from RankMath because I want to just show you that it's best to get your search console and your analytics done as well. However, you want to do this in 2 bits, okay? So as part of this video, this long video, we are going to cover off connecting to Search Console, which is so easy. It's like, that it. And we're also going to do Google Analytics as well. However, my recommendation is that you first get Google Search Console connected, okay? Once Google Search Console is connected, then you come on to Google Analytics. Don't do it the other way around. So on the Search Console, normally when you come in here, it might say something like Search Profile, and it might even be disconnected. What you do is you just click Reconnect or Connect. And what will happen is, we've got loads of websites on here that we've worked on or connected, and 9 times out of 10, it will just connect up straight away. But you might have to do a little bit of work. If it does not connect up, you just click Reconnect, and it will connect itself up. However, if this is the first time you've ever connected to Google Search Console, what you do is you click the connect, you then pick your account, you then ensure that you have ticked all of these options down here. It is important to do this. Don't skip anything. Click continue and it will connect. If you're unsure that it has actually done that, what you want to do is you go to you go to your search engine and you search for Google Search Console. And what you'll do is you'll click start now. And the very first time you come into Google Search Console, what you're going to do is pick your website, or you will just add in an entry. So what you do is you go over here to search property, you go down to add property, and then what you do is you put in your domain, okay? You put in the domain. So over here, we would be putting in websquadron.co.uk. We're not doing URL prefix, we were doing the domain. Once we've done that and it's connected, it's pretty instant, okay? It takes a few seconds, but it's pretty instant. Once that is done, you should now be connected to Google Search Console. But a lot of this stuff that you're getting here in terms of impressions, pages, countries, how you're doing in search engines and all of that, you will get via RankMath anyway within the dashboard they give you, okay? And I'll show you that right at the end. But Google Search Console, it is really, really simple, right? You just connect. If it doesn't connect, you just go to Google Search Console, search for it. Obviously, log in via your Google account. Go over here, add property, and it will be added. You will probably have to come back to Google Search Console later on, and I will talk about that right towards the end, okay? Because you do have to come back over here once you've built your website or during stages of your website, and you want to go over to Sitemaps. And what you got to do is just make sure that your sitemap is submitted. So the last time we submitted this was the 12th of June. It was last read on the 19th of February 2022, which is actually today. So it's always, whenever we change the website, it kind of reconnects in a way and pushes through the latest items or pages or whatever. We've got 65 discoverable URLs because there'll be different pages and posts and stuff we got on there. So that's all pretty good. If, though, when we do RankMath, your sitemap is not there, you would just put in this word here, sitemap _index XML, and you pop that in here. But I'll show you where you get that from within RankMath anyway. So good thing to do that. And also you would do a URL inspection as well. So over here, you would put in your home page and you submit that, okay? This is how you basically getting your website to be crawled by Google. If your website is not crawled by Google, it's not indexed properly and it won't be found. But I will come on to those later. So you might sit there going, wow, this is complicated. No, it's not. Once you're connected with Search Console, like I am, okay, the websites that are all connected are here and it's green. So the Search Console is green. That is connected. Down here, though, the analytics is not connected. I intentionally removed it, and I'm going to set it back up from scratch again because I think it's really important that you get this step and do it right. Can't spell. I can't spell. Right, there you go. Google.com Analytics. Okay, right, we are in. You hit start for free. Depending on when you do this, there might be a different message. There's always going to be a blue button somewhere. Start measuring, start for free. Whatever, get going. You click that. And when you do that, you're going to come to this page, which is account setup. So I'm going to pick my account name. I'm going to go for Web Squadron. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that for a moment. Okay, because I might use it again later. I am then going to tick, make sure that all of these options are ticked down here. Okay, it's up to you if you want to have helping Google to improve services, or they might, there might be other products or items that are available to you. It's up to you if you use them. But I'm going to tick all of those and I'm going to click next. We are not going to do a property name here. We're going to click show advanced options. Remember, we want the universal analytics, the UA code. And it basically says, do you want to create a universal analytics property? Well, yes, we do. Okay, cool. Now, down here is where you put your web address. Okay, make sure this is correct. Is it HTTP or HTTPS? Make sure you get your URL in. And we are not going to tick create a UA property only. Remember, we want both of them, okay? Because it's good to be in both areas. Don't just have one. Sorry, you are meant to put the Web Squadron name here as well, or whatever is your website property name. Sorry about that. Make sure you do that as well. Right, so we've got the URL in, and we are doing enhanced, and we are going to have a UA property. We then click next. Now, this is where you can start to decide if you want to give any details about your business. I'm actually going to tick business and industrial. I'm going to say we're a small company, and I'm going to tick all of these options except other, and I'm not going to go for measuring app installs because we're not an app, if that makes sense, okay? And then we're going to click create. That's that done. And if I now go to analytics, everywhere where I have set up Google Analytics, okay, that will now be visible. Can you see here Web Squadron? Because that's what I called the property. So if I had called the property rainbows, you'd have rainbows. So I'm going to pick Web Squadron. I'm then going to pick my property, which again was Web Squadron. And I'm now going to say all website data. You also have the facility here to install the analytics code. And I would just do that and not touch anything else there, okay? So install the analytics code. And what we're now going to do is just go down here and put save and continue. Now, even though I've done save and continue and it's moved on to sitemaps, I'm going to go back again to analytics. Because when you hit save and continue, it wasn't green. It is now green. Can you see that? It's got our credentials in. This is going to help improve how we get to assess our website. And I just want to quickly scroll down here to just say you do have the ability to do AdSense as well. If you want to, pay for advertisements and things like that, that's up to you. That's your prerogative. You do what you want with that. I don't tend to do that. I don't do advertising. There's much better ways of doing it, and we've got videos on that, how to get clients and stuff, so go watch that. And also email reports. I would click this. So every month or every 30 days, you're going to get a report that talks about how's the website doing. This is a good thing to do. Obviously, if you log into your website regularly, you'll see all these details anyway, but it's not a bad thing to get a reminder in your mailbox, okay? So save and continue. Then we move on to the sitemap. Do you remember I was talking about it over here in Google Search Console, the sitemap, okay? Let's go back into RankMath. Sitemaps enable, include sitemaps. I've got it for my post and page. If I had a WooCommerce shop, I would probably have the option there for products and stuff as well. Enable what you want to include. Now be careful. If you have posts, but they're not really posts that you care about or you want people to find, whatever, okay? They're testing pages, whatever. Have a think about what is going to be indexed and discoverable in the World Wide Web. Okay, so please don't start ticking things off if you don't really want to share it. We have posts where we put codes in for some of our YouTube videos or CSS or HTML or stuff like that. So we want to share it. Public taxonomy. Now, there's two categories here. Don't be fooled. This is from a PDF viewable plugin, which I'm not even using anymore, which I need to get rid of. But that is relating to that. But you would normally have one category. If you had WooCommerce, you'd have product category there as well. Again, do you want that to be included? So have a think about that. These settings are normally okay. Then we have SEO tweaks. Now then, if you have empty categories, so let's say for your post, you've got 5 categories. You got a category for hairstyle, but there's no post for it. By enabling that, the empty category will not be indexed, because the last thing you want is for someone to go to Google, see a link for hairstyle, click it, and there's no content. That's not good. So we don't want that. No follow external links as well, and external links in new tab window. So when they click a link, it opens it in a new window, which I'm quite happy with as well. They're my settings that I go for. You might want to disable this one as well, if I'm honest. So if you're okay with people linking to your post or your page or whatever, and it helps to, create a backlink, that's not a bad thing. And I'm actually going to enable that as well. It's been a while since I did that, and I've now realized actually it's okay to leave it activated. You can now get RankMath Pro. There are other settings we do need to go for, and you're probably thinking, what? There's more? Yeah, there is some more. But stay with me on this, okay? This is all really, really good, powerful stuff that you really want to get done for your website. We do have the advanced option, okay? And I definitely recommend you click that and start to do this stuff as well. I'm the only person who kind of manages the website, and we have someone else as well. However, we don't have separate people who are editors or authors. There's just us two administrators, okay? We're the only ones with the power to do anything on the website. However, if you did have other people, like editors and authors and whatever, you could go through and start to click and decide on, well, are they allowed to do, basically, look, let me show you. Let's go down to editor. An editor can do this stuff, but an editor can't do the sitemap settings or the general settings. They can't change that. You have the authority for that. So you get to decide on that. We don't bother that because we're the only ones with the roles to do that. So we just do save and continue. We then come to the screen where we say, yes, we do want to have the 404 monitor. So what that means is when you come back to RankMath in WordPress, there is a section where you get to see, are people going to certain pages and basically they're not seeing any content, or they're seeing your 404 page that you might have built with like Elementor templates or something like that, or whatever page builder you're using. Also redirections, do you want to enable that? And I would say it's a good thing for you to understand, are 404s occurring? And if you wanted to redirect, back to your home page or another page, this is a good thing to do. So this is what we do, save and continue. Now, when it comes to schema markup, we do enable it. So what we're basically saying is that where we have posts or whatever, they are articles, because that's what they are. There's something about WordPress or a code or something that's going to help you out. You do have options as well, whereby it might be your courses, books, events, and things like that, job listings as well. But we go for article, and we ensure that the article type is article as well. Now then, for the pages, we don't have a scheme type, because our pages are not articles, they're not events, they're not products, they're none of these things. You could go for service, to be honest, but we prefer to leave it as none. So what I'm saying is, where we have our website, okay, 65 whatever pages at the moment, or including posts, there's going to be like 5 or 6 which are pages, the rest are posts. The posts are articles. The pages, they're just pages. They're not individual course pages. They're not, do you understand what I'm saying? So you can have a think about this, okay? And it keeps things clean, okay? Don't go saying, yeah, my pages are articles, because it can confuse how things are indexed, etc. on Google and all of that. So I would say just keep it clean. Now, when you've done that, you'll now be back over to where you would normally be if you just hit RankMath or you click the dashboard. This is now basically like bringing forth together everything you've done so far and some extra stuff. And again, there is still more you can do. Now, you're probably sat there going, this is ridiculously long. Like, I thought RankMath SEO was dead simple. It is. You cut out all the talking that I'm doing and you just look at the screenshots, whatever. You can follow this through really quickly, right? Well, it is pretty simple. 404, we have enabled. I've also enabled analytics, obviously, because we've already connected and all that. Instant indexing, I've got that as well. Link, so this is like, it just helps to speed up the process of getting posts and pages indexed. Link counter, local SEO and knowledge, I'll come on to that, okay. It's where we can help to boost yourself in your local area. If you don't care about your local area, you don't have to have that. But I think a lot of businesses, you'd love to be winning business in your area, to become an expert, to become someone people go, hey, yeah, so-and-so just lives a mile away. They do this service. It's kind of a good thing. Redirections, schema. Yeah, well, we've already gone through the schema. We're not bothering with role manager. SEO analysis, obviously. Sitemap, obviously. Okay, and you can click the settings, but it's just going to take you through to what I'm about to show you next. By the way, we've not got a shop on here, but if we did, we would probably use WooCommerce because that's where we can start doing things like indexing, the product categories and stuff like that. But we have not got a shop here, so we're not bothering with that. I'm now going to run down through the settings on the left-hand side, and then we will get onto the home page, okay? Because I know some of you really want to know all about that. When we move on to general settings, now, believe me, when you do that, loads of options become available. But I'm just going to run through these quite quickly without spending too long on it, just to make sure you understand what you need to do. Strip the category base. What is that? If you have a post or whatever, the word category will appear in the URL before you get the post name. I don't want the word category there. I think it's ugly. Why do you need to have the word category? It's not the category. So if I have a post which sits within JavaScript, JavaScript will still be there, and then you'll have the post name. But what this does is you'll have URL, category, JavaScript, post name. I don't need the word category. Just strip it out. Redirect attachment. I've just got that in there. So what that means is like if anyone finds like an image or something from your website and they click it, it's going to link back to your website rather than just be the image. So that's really good. If there's any orphan attachments where the address wasn't linking correctly to where it needs to go to because the image might have been deleted, but it's still on Google, it will take them to their website, websquadron.co.uk. No follow external links. I've actually disabled that again. So I'm saying it's okay to do a link if you want as a backlink. Hey, backlinks are good. No follow image file links. So I'm saying that I don't really want people to follow the image in a way. So I've removed that. Maybe you don't want someone to follow you like apple.com. No, they are not allowed to follow us. Why wouldn't you want apple.com to follow you? Or elementor.com? You're being crazy. But if you didn't, you would stick their URL in there. Don't you dare stick my URL in there because I'll be really upset. Open links in new tab. Okay, save changes. We then go on to breadcrumbs. I don't use breadcrumbs. If you want to enable the function, you can do so. Okay, this is like maybe you've got products or something like that. You could do that, enable that. Okay, that's absolutely fine. However, you would have to stick this in as well. So what you got to do is this code here, you got to go to code snippets and add new snippet, call it breadcrumb, and just drop that in, okay? And that's just to enable breadcrumbs to work properly. I'm not fussed about that. I don't do that. We then go to images. This one is important. Add missing alt attribute. So what this will now do is when you add in an image, if you haven't given it an alt attribute, it will now put the file name. So I've said put the file name in. Okay, so I went down here and I typed in file name. Okay, there you go, file name. Let's put it in again. If you want to give it a different description, you can do. But I say just do the file name for now. You can modify it later on. Add missing title attributes. I don't really care about that one. I'm more focused about the alt name. Webmaster tools. Right. Hopefully you've done what I've told you with the Google Search Console and the Google Analytics. Once you've done that, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait a day or two. You can then come on to this bit where it says Google Search Console. So even though you've connected it, there's still a tiny bit of verification you've got to do. So what you do is you click this. It will then open a new page, and all you do is click verify, like that. You just click verify, and you're going to get a green tick. If you have not done the Google Search Console connection, that's not going to work. So you just do the connection, right? I'm now just going to go back again to this bit, and what you do is you just copy this, and you paste it here. You just paste it in, okay? You just paste that in. After a while, it will then reduce it to look like that, but you just paste it in. You're verified, you paste it in, and job done. Let me just show you that again, okay? You hit verify like that, and that's it. That is literally it, okay? So I'm just going to close that down, so we're back over here. Now, you do also have Bing Webmaster tools as well. My recommendation is you don't do that one, the Bing one, until you get a notification from Google to say your website is now indexed and crawled. What do I mean by that? Do you remember we said when you go over to over here, right, in Google Search Console, you've added in your property, you've got your sitemap in. What you want to do is you go to URL inspection, you put your address in, right? Once you have submitted it, so you do that and you hit return. It's now going to retrieve the data from Google Index, okay? And then what it will do is you then want to request indexing. And it will now crawl your website, all of it, and it will now say, is your website mobile friendly? Is everything okay? Blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah. This can take 2 to 4 days. Can be quicker. Usually it's well within 4 days. You want to do this, and you will then get an email back from Google letting you know, there's an issue with the mobile, your words are too cramped, too small, whatever. Sort that out, or there was an issue, we couldn't crawl it, or something wasn't right. Once you've got green ticks everywhere, okay, then you do this Bing. Don't do the Bing at the same time. My recommendation is you do your Google Search Console and your analytics, right? Once you've got the email back from Google, normally 3 to 4 days, normally 2 even, you then click over here and go to Bing verification tools. And what you will then do is it will just say, get started. I'm going to sign in with Google. And then down here, or up there, sorry, you click add a site. You would then just basically put in your URL like that. Or you could just hit import. And this is the reason I'm telling you to wait. Wait until you've done what you had to do. And then you click import. And then you click continue. And you go through the motions, okay, of doing all of this stuff. Yeah, I'm allowing Bing to look at this. And it will then say, right, which website do you want me to do? And I will then untick all of them, and I will only pick ours. And once you pick that, you then click import. That is now imported. That is all you had to do. I don't bother with anything else here. Save changes. I then go to robots text. I do not touch this. I leave this as it is. I don't touch anything on the others as well. I do not want to show my score to my visitors. If you really care about it, go for it. If you're a company who says, we provide SEO services and you want to put your money where your mouth is, then you might want to show it. Because if your website is like 10%, you're not that good then, are you? But it's up to you. But we don't bother with that because we don't want to be sticking it in our header or our footer or anything like that. Edit HT access. I would not touch this. I'm really honest, don't touch it. 404 monitor. I leave it like that. Simple. Log limit means how many items do you want to show? I just go for 100. If I had 1,000 pages, I might up that to 500 because there's probably a higher chance there's going to be loads of mishits on the website. If I've got 400 products, I might up that to be 500 as well as my log limit. It basically means how many items do you see before it starts to delete them. The previous one will delete off, so you only see the top 100. For redirections, I at the moment redirect to the homepage. You could do a custom redirection to another URL. I just redirect to the homepage. Okay, nothing more I need to do there. Analytics, well, we've already covered that. It's already done. Right, we've already covered that. Just a reminder, look, it's all in place now. It's all here. And then we also have Content AI. Now, to get Content AI to work, this is going to help you if you want to generate keywords or understand what keywords are doing really well currently in the world. But you got to go for the pro version if you want to get that. And I don't use the pro version. So if you want that, you go ahead and do it. I'm not fussed about it, so I don't use Content AI. Great. Now we're going to move on to titles and meta. I know you're probably thinking, what? How many settings? You don't have to do all of these settings, but I recommend you do because it's done and you will live a happy life. Believe me, you will. Right, global meta index. Yes, we do want to index. Leave these as it is. No index empty categories. Yep, I've already told you that. We don't want the empty categories to be indexed, but you do want to index everything else. When you have a web page, do you want to, can you see here, page title, post title, web squadron? What do you want to have as the divider? I just go for the dash. You could go for a big dash as well. I just go for a little dash. I'm happy with that. Capitalized titles. There's my logo. If you haven't added it already, which you should have done when you did the setup wizard, save and continue. What does your Twitter card look like? Is it just going to be like a summary card or is it going to be a large image? I say go with a large image. It looks good when you do social media, trust me. Then we go to local SEO because we enabled it. Do you remember? Over here in the dashboard, we enabled it where we had all of those panes and grids and whatever. This will bring up what you've already kind of put in on the setup wizard, and you can add in a bit more. Organization, web squadron, we've got our logo, we've got a URL, email. Oh, sorry, add in your email. Add in your address. I have removed the address for obvious reasons, but normally my address would have been in there. The address format, address, locality, region, postcode. You can modify this to be whatever format you want it to be. Tips and hints are there for you. Okay, look, you can see this here. Business type, opening is 24-hour in terms of the format. And then I'm saying to you, yeah, here's our operating hours. Our hours are beyond that. You know me, I'm working later at night, doing things on my machine. But that's what I want advertised out there. You go in and you can now, change it. That was a rubbish time, wasn't it? 23, there we go. Okay, you change it to what you want. You also can remove. So if you don't work on the weekend, remove. If you don't work on Wednesday, remove. Add whatever you want. You can be flexible. You can also put in your phone number, multiple numbers, customer service, technical support, whatever you want. I'll just go for customer service. Price range. Are you cheap? Are you expensive? What are you? I actually think it's a good idea to sometimes just leave that blank. You can put it in if you want, but I don't know. I'm one of those that feels like I would just leave that blank. You then tell you're telling RankMath, where is your about page and your contact? I have an about page. I have a contact page. That's the name of the pages. So if your about page is called About Me, you pick About Me. You just go down here. You just start typing it. I mean, look, if I start typing in crate, I've got a couple of crate pages there, which we don't want. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so there's those pages. You don't need to worry about Google Maps API key if you're just using Elementor Pro or anything like that, or even Elementor. It's already going to be in there. Geo coordinates, I don't bother with that as well. Let me just save these changes. That's pretty simple, isn't it? That's going to help you get found in the local economy. And I would say you do that because it's not a bad thing. Social. Make sure you do this. Don't ignore it. Don't be one of those people where you do stuff. You go, oh, yeah, I'll get back to it. No, get your Facebook page URL in if you've got one. Get your Facebook authorship in, like your own personal website if you want. If you've got a Twitter account, put in your Twitter username, okay? Do this. If you've got it active, put it in. This is good stuff to do. The homepage. Now, this is where you can now go through to your homepage and start doing your keywords and getting your, basically boosting everything upwards. It's a strategy to help the algorithm for SEO. But we're going to do that later, okay? Stay with me on this. Authors, well, there's only me and the admin that do it, but we don't have separate author accounts here. If you do start enabling, this is where you're going to start to decide, are you indexing author names and all of this? If you have a blog site where you invite people in, guest writers and whatever, you might want to enable this and just go through the settings. I'm not fussed about that. Miscellaneous pages, I disable that because I'm not bothered about that at all. Okay, this is just like the 404 page and search results. I'm not fussed about that. I leave that off. We get to post types. My posts, okay, are just the title. Normally, what you might have is you'll have the title and the URL. So it might say Elementor gradient text between other texts for free. That's one of the posts that we had. And then it will say hyphen web squadron, da 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 da. That's overkill. So I just want the title. And if you're unsure of it, just go here and type in title. There you go, post title, right? That's all I want. That's all I need. I don't need the site title. Post title is fine. The description will be the excerpt, which is okay. The schema type is an article, because we already picked it. Do you remember? You know, setup wizard, we did all that, and it starts to pull it through. Schema type article, headline is the SEO title. Again, I got rid of the site URL and all of that. That was over here. Description is the SEO description, okay? Because I want the post to show the description I have defined, not the excerpt, but the description. And the reason why it's an SEO description is because we've probably boosted it with keywords. Does that make sense? Post robots meta, leave that activated. Indexing, then leave everything else in. Link suggestions, leave that. Link suggestion title is a title. Primary taxonomy categories. And we just kind of go, yep, yep, yep. Okay? Don't overthink it. Don't sit there overthinking stuff sometimes, right? Just go with simple steps, simple processes, so it doesn't start to get convoluted. We then go to pages, and it's the same thing again. Title, excerpt is fine. Schema type. Now remember, we earlier said there is no schema type for pages. It's already pulled it through, so we don't have to worry about that. And then everything down here, just look at what we've got, okay? You can see the settings there, clear as day, okay? That's what we do. When we come to attachments, we are not doing that, so we've left that as it is. When we come to post categories, we also kind of have just said, right, we want to have the term, the separate. Sep means separator, by the way, okay? If you're wondering, what is that? And we have the site name as well. Now, this is where I might want to get rid of that as well and get rid of the separator. So we just have the category like that. We have the term description, and again, we have the settings, okay? Pretty simple stuff there. You get to control how is it going to look in the search engine. If you don't care, don't bother. But I would say care. Take the time for this. We then go to tags, and I'm going to get rid of the separator here as well. So there we go, okay? And there you can see the tags I don't really index anyway. So, you know, I'm like, you know, what do I care? But there we go. And I'm just going to save changes there. We then go to, now this category here was for the extra plugin, which I don't use. So that one I don't bother with. If you had WooCommerce, you would have WooCommerce here as well. You go through the same thing basically with the categories and stuff like that, where you're basically deciding how is it presented. So is it going to just say the product name? Will it have the product name separator category? Will it have category separator product? So you get to decide on the styling of it. But you're gonna know better on that, on what works for you. Right, general settings, titles, meta, we've done. Do you remember over here in your Google Search Console, you've got sitemap. Look, and we can see the sitemap web page, sitemap index XML. When I go back to RankMath and I'm in the sitemap settings, look, there it is. So if it hasn't pulled it through, you know, when you've done your Google Search Console and all of that, what you do is you would just basically copy that bit after the /, okay? Go over here, paste it in, and hit submit. And that's it. You hit submit. And it might take, you know, a few seconds or whatever to pull it through, whatever. Actually, it might take a minute. It runs through like you get the swirly, and then it will pull it through, and you'll be fine. Okay? So don't worry about that. Links per sitemap, I've got 200 because I've only got 68 whatever posts, including pages and whatever. If you've got 500 posts and pages, you might want to up that value up. It's up to you. Images in sitemaps, yeah. Include featured images, yeah. Exclude any posts or terms. Well, that's up to you. Do you need to? I would say not, unless you've got something you want to hide. I don't know. That's up to you. You then go to posts. That is included in the sitemap. Now, if I was to pick this up here, so I copy that, and I go to sitemap, and I just hit that there, and I hit submit, you'll now see what I meant by it just does that. And that was actually quite quick. That was quicker than normal. So that's now added in our post sitemap as well. So let's now go over to pages. Well, I don't need to do page sitemap because the sitemap I've got is already got it in as well. But I'm happy to do the post one. You don't have to do separate. You could just go for general, but I wanted to show you how easy it was. It was actually quicker than sometimes it normally is. Attachment, I'm not fussed about. Categories, they are included in the sitemap. My tags, they are not because I'm not really using tags. If you had WooCommerce and you were using tags, I would include them. Right? Product tags, you would include them. And this category is to do with that dflip PDF plugin, which is not that good actually. So I'm not bothering with that one at all either. Right, that was sitemap. Pretty easy, yeah? But can you see how you could easily do a connection to Search Console? And if this is empty and you then go to URL inspection and you say, right, crawl and index, it's going to say error. Where's the sitemap? Where's this? And you might be going, what? What are you talking about there? So go through the motions and the steps. This does make sense. Right. Now we go on to instant indexing. So this is now going to use the Google indexing to basically instant index. Remember I said install that extra plugin where the author was RankMath. That's it. That's all it is. Success. Instant indexing. That's all it is. It's got the web address. That's all you got to do. You could go over to Google API and start messing around with all of these, but I'm going to tell you now, don't bother. Okay, just do send to API. If you're a real hardcore developer and you want to get involved in that stuff, go ahead, be my guest. But just send to API, 404 monitor. I, at the minute, have no pages going to 404. What? That is amazing. But if there were people going to the wrong page, whatever, I would get informed over here. And then you need to go and think about, well, are your post URLs or pages complicated and people are mistyping or whatever? You might want to have a think about modifying and changing that. When we go to redirections, I've already done it in the setup. So I've already said that the redirections are, look, if I was to click add new redirection, this is where you get to decide, is it a temporary move or, is it a permanent one? I've already in my settings decided I'm going to have a permanent one anyway. So I'm not fussed. I'm not going to start setting this up again over here. I've already done it. So redirections go to our homepage. I just like to keep things simple. Now then, this page was 95 last week. And then I started removing keywords. And even though I've removed keywords, it is still showing 86. This is fiddly in how often it updates. Because even if I do this and put start analysis again, I've removed all my keywords from the homepage, but it is still saying 86%. So it's not the greatest thing. And you sometimes have to come back the following day. So where you've got all these keywords and green ticks, that's not true. But what I wanted to address were the warnings and the failed tests. I've got 2 warnings and 2 failed tests. One of the warnings is that it says here, I've got too few internal links. Let me tell you now. If I had 11 internal and 5 external, it would be orange. If I had 11 internal and 20 external, it would still be orange. I often find there's no win-win situation with this. And I'm like, well, I'll do more internal, less internal, whatever. And it's always there. And you know what? I don't care. It's such a minor little thing. I really don't care. It says here I've got a page with no focus keyword. That's my homepage. Remember, I took it off for part of this video. Look, if I click over here, look, there's my homepage. There is no keyword set. Oh no, the misery, the danger. Back over here. And the other warnings I've got are here. It's saying the size of my HTML is 74 kilobytes. 50 kilobytes would be good. The problem is that when you are using page builders or anything like that, even when you do, when you do your best to reduce it, this sometimes goes green and sometimes it's red. So I will not lose sleep over this. This is not gonna impact on my website searchability or anything like that. My Google page speed scores are brilliant. Fine, I'm happy with it. I don't worry about it. And over here it says response time. I kid you not, this morning it was 0.2, exactly 0.2, and it was green. I've run it again. It's now gone to 0.33. Well, earlier I ran it again. Again, I am really not going to worry. I'm not going to care about that. The response time of your page is 0.33 seconds. It's not even half a second, okay? Like, that is probably faster than my blink, right? Get over it, okay? Just make sure that everything else on here is green, and that's to do with your keywords, your headers, your meta descriptions, your alt images, all of that, okay? That's what matters most. But don't lose sleep over it. Status and tools, I'm not really going to focus on here. You know, if there's any issues or like, you know, something's not working and you need to send over to RankMath a report of, you know, what's happening on your page or what the settings are, go ahead and do it. I have never, ever had to go back to RankMath. We've used RankMath on 85. Sorry, there were two we never did. 85 websites. No issues ever. Like, not even a plugin incompatibility issue when it updates. Even when WordPress updates, we've never had an issue with it. So we're really, really happy. Right, now let's get on to the homepage. That's the bit that I'm sure you're all sat there going, come on, get on with it. Because if I go to my pages, okay, on purpose, okay, I have not done it on loads of pages at the moment. This is one of our other sister websites, Bats.work, that we also use for consultancy and things as well, you know, building websites. We don't just do Web Squadron. And these are our posts, and we have gone through and done the RankMath SEO optimization of the keywords and whatnot and all of that. Look at this. Look at the scores here. All right, we got 1 in 85 because there wasn't much on there to play with. But look at the scores we're getting here. Okay, and you want to be hitting the greens. If I was you, you really want to be hitting 90 plus for your posts, your important posts, and your pages to really help yourself out with the search algorithm. Here's our homepage. The homepage has got no score because the keyword has not been set because I took it off. Okay, I'll tell you now, before we took it off, it was 99 out of 100. Okay, so don't sit there going, oh, but it was really rubbish. No, it was 99 out of 100. And it's walloped down because there's no keyword. But over here, we have quite a lengthy name. Okay, again, I just want to show you something. This used to be called the homepage. If I go to quick edit, look at the slug and look at the title. They're quite long. However, if I go to appearance and I go to menu, over here is our menu. We call it HQ instead of home. HQ, there's the page. That's the page. So you can have a really convoluted URL or whatever you want to do, or a slug, sorry. But the HQ, you could call it home or whatever you want to do, all right? So you can actually mix things up a little bit. Just a little tip if you ever want to play with it. Now, at the moment, the reason this title is complicated is because I'm just showing you that we were playing out with keywords. Now, I'm going to change the keywords that we have here. So I'm going to change this to be consultant and small businesses websites. I'm going to leave the word Elementor in. I'm going to take out the word websites from here. And I'm going to say for your business, no, we'll leave it like that. We'll even take out the word HQ and home, right? So this is my URL. Consultant and small businesses website Elementor. Sorry, it's not the URL. That's the name for the homepage, okay? I'm going to copy that and I'm going to stick it down here. We're okay with that? I'm now going to copy this title. Now, you're probably thinking, why are you copying it? What is the basis of this? That is going to be my keyword, okay? One of my keywords that I'll be using. So I'm just going to update this for now. And I'm now going to edit with Elementor. And this is where we're now going to work through doing the keywords and all of that, okay? Right. So over here, right, we have the option for SEO. Now, if you are not using Elementor, depending on your page builder, it should be integrated or not. If it wasn't integrated, please don't worry, okay? Let me just go back a step. If I was to edit this in a new link, so I can show you how it looks with the standard WordPress window, there's your WordPress. Over here, the score is currently coming out at 28,100. I'm surprised it's even got a score, to be honest. I'm going to click over here, and you would now have the options to do your rank math, basically. So your keywords, your meta descriptions, your titles, you can start to go through down here. So you can do it just within WordPress as well. But we're focusing on Elementor just because that's how we've built the page. Now, when I click on SEO, 28 out of 100, and look, the scores are ridiculous. In fact, we're only hitting green on the fact that we're using short paragraphs, we've got images and or videos as well. So we're doing okay there. And over here, we can see that our content is 468 words long. If you've got a website with hardly any content, you're going to get a fail on that. You don't have to tick everything. I want to make that clear. If you don't tick everything, it's not bad if you know you have achieved your aim for that web page, how it should look and what it should do in terms of functionality, okay? So let's now just scroll to the top, okay? And I'm going to, before I start to mess around with the meta title and the meta description, I'm going to go in and put in my keyword. Now, over here, you do have Content AI. So I could say, like, I could put in a keyword like that, hit research, but you got to have Pro to enable that. So this isn't going to work for you. Let's go back to SEO. You also have like something that's going to tell you what are the current keyword trends. There are other places and websites you could use, Uber Suggest and stuff like that to try and find out what are the trending keywords at the moment. Or you could upgrade for Pro. But again, I would say just do your research yourself and work out what's important. Or even test a market as well. So I'm just going to pop into here our keyword that we've already got. Now, at the moment, this is gone red. It's not green. The reason it's not green is because we're not using it anywhere else in our website. So I've gone and picked a keyword which is not on our website. In fact, I'm going to do something slightly different. I've now realized something. I've made a mistake. I'm just going to go back again to my page here, do a quick edit and get rid of the word Elementor. I went a bit crazy there. Consultant and small business websites. Yeah, that's it. Let's get rid of the word Elementor. So I'm going to double click this and I'm going to get rid of the word Elementor there. So consultant and small businesses websites. I'm just going to copy the text we have over there and I'm now going to go to edit snippet. This is where you now want to start thinking about what are the other words you want to, what do you want to get across out there to people? Now, before you do that, scroll down here and see what it says to you. It says the focus keyword is not in the SEO title. The focus keyword is also not in the SEO meta description. And the focus keyword does not appear at the beginning of your content. When it says appear at the beginning of your content, it doesn't have to be the very first thing you say in your headline. It really needs to be in your first one or two sentences, if I'm honest. So if you've got a headline, try and make sure you've got it in your second sentence or your second subheader or whatever. Let's just go over here to edit snippet. Over here, I am going to change this title and I'm going to say consultant and small businesses websites. Small business websites. It's going to change this to be consultant and small business websites, okay, like that. Notice the scores already kind of jumped up a little bit there. Let me just make sure I've got this right. I think I got the word Elementor still in there. There you go. Consultant and small business website. That's now okay. Now I'm going to hit edit snippet. And we've got small business websites. And I'm just going to change this now, okay? So I'm now actually going to type here -web squadron. You could put UK, you could put whatever you want, but I'm going to say consultant small business website, web squadron, and I'm going to put a pipe, and I'm going to say Elementor training, like that as well. Sometimes I forget to check things as I'm recording videos, so remember you have a limit of up to 60. You can go over, but stay within the 60. And down here, we've also got high converting consultant and small business websites from £500 with Web Squadron, UK-based SEO and optimized performance by an Elementor expert trainer. I'm quite happy with that. Now, I am going to pick up this text over here and just copy it because I might use it later on in the website as well in terms of the content. The main thing is it has got the keyword in there, consultant and small business websites. Consultant and small business websites, okay? That's the trick to it. Don't pick a keyword like supernova, and then it's nowhere in your URL, your title, or your description. It's something people overlook, and it's like, no, get it in there. Right, let's close that down. We're still at 79 and 100. There are still things we need to do. Look, so the keyword is in the title, it's in the description. but the focus keyword is not appearing at the beginning of your content, and it doesn't even appear in our content whatsoever. So let's just reevaluate this. Let me just do this, okay? So here's the homepage. Maximize amazing websites. Let's supercharge your ideas into bone-crushing businesses and make a difference with what you love. So I'm now going to make a duplicate of this header over here. I'm going to convert it to be a header 3. I'm going to go over here to the style, and I'm just going to shrink this REM down to be about 1.3. Go to content, and I'm now going to literally put the description I've just created. So high converting consultant and small business websites from £500. And I'm now going to get rid of the whole bit about Elementor and like that. There we go. High converting consultant and small business websites from £500. I am probably at a later stage going to tweak it so it's now actually part of the original paragraph, or maybe not. Let's just hit update for a moment. Okay, like that. And that is looking okay. So I've got a headline. I don't mention my keyword. I give them a bit of blurb, bone-crushing businesses, and all that. And then I go high converting consultant, small business websites from £500. So I'm kind of reinforcing a little bit what I had above, but it works for me. So when we now go back to SEO, by me putting in that snippet into my content near the top, and it contained the keyword, and I slightly reinforced what I had in my description, I've now hit 90 out of 100. We were at 26, 28. I haven't done a huge amount yet, have I? And I've only got one keyword. So I think I need to add in some further keywords. And I'm also going to do web design near me. So they're the 3 or the 4 I've added in. You're only allowed 5 with RankMath. If I try and add in another one, look, it won't let you do it. You can go back and double click and modify the words or delete things as well. But have a think about what you're trying to put in here. If this was a post, and it was a post that you want people to read all the time, like it's not a time sensitive post, you would make it pillar content. So let's say you wrote a post about a type of car, and that car is now changed. It might not want to be a pillar content. However, if it's something to do with how you need to always think about SEO, that's probably going to be pillar content, because SEO never goes out of fashion. So right now, we're hitting green, green, green on everything. We're still only 90 out of 100. Okay, so let's just scroll down and see. Right, we are now not hitting, we're red on these 2 areas. We have not got an image with the keyword, and the keyword density is 0.21, which is low. So we haven't used the keyword enough. We've only used it once at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to copy that keyword. And this image that I have here on that side of the page, or just above me here, I'm going to click that image, and I'm going to go to the alt text, and I'm just going to stick it in. That's all I'm going to do. And hit insert media. And then hit update. Change the score now. We're now 93 out of 100. And look, the image is now done. But we still need to use the keyword a bit more. This is where, if you had a really simple keyword, like scuba diving in Thailand, if you mention that 3 or 4 times on your page, you'll be okay. So you got to think about what was the keyword and where are you going to use it. So what I've now got to do is just find relevant places to put it in. And I'm going to drop it into this section here and just say our aim is to create, and I'm going to now just change this to be consultant and small business websites. There we go. And I'm now just going to double check the score there. It's still low. So I'm going to just scroll down, down here to this bit here. And I'm going to say, we rock our adrenaline high sets, and together you'll master it. Don't miss out on consultant and small business website. So there we go. We're agreed now. So I've used it in 3 places on the website, and that's kind of enough. There is more you could do, by the way. Okay, so what I want to make clear is where I've got the word SEO website or Elementor websites or high performing websites or whatever, if I have text on my page, so let me just show you. Let me just take this here, right? So I'm going to say high performing websites, right? And I'm going to say for high performing websites. Okay, so so I've added in that extra keyword we had. I mean, I haven't even added Elementor, but sometimes the page just takes a bit of time and it finds it. We're now up to 96 out of 100. So if I now change my content somewhere and get the word SEO website somewhere, or web design near, well, web design near me is a bit of a weird one. You don't really want to put that in. but it starts to reinforce the keywords and it makes them stronger. Now, this is where if you have a post that is about how to design a hero banner, right? Your keywords need to relate back to the content. So if your keyword is Lamborghini, but you do not mention the word Lamborghini anywhere, and it doesn't even relate to the post, you might get ranked. You might get ranked for Lamborghini. And when someone clicks it and they come to your page, it's got nothing to do with Lamborghinis, people lose trust in you, right? It's all about trust, honesty, transparency. So I've just really quickly done it, right? I haven't gone through every image and changed the alt and all that. I haven't put in loads of keywords and stuff. I've just systematically gone through really simply. So let's just update this. 96 out of 100. That's pretty good. If I get the other two yellows there to be green, I'd probably be hitting 98. And if I just worked a little bit more on more alt image texts and stuff like that, I'd probably hit 100. So let's just go back now into our WordPress website. If we now look at the page, it's hitting 96 out of 100, and you get the idea, okay? I mean, right now, loads of these pages, they have a keyword, but I haven't gone through them and systematically worked on all of them. But on our sister site that we upgraded a while ago, we went through post by post by post. It is a good thing to do if you want to help yourself in the search engine. Look, RankMath is a really good tool, because once you've installed RankMath, and you've gone through the search console and the analytics, right? And you've improved your pages, okay? Bear in mind, we've been messing around with the keywords and stuff like that and adding things, taking things off the website in the last couple of months, to be honest. But I could just go here, okay? And it's going to start to show me how many redirections were there. How many 404s were there? None. Yay! How many impressions, clicks, average position? That's because I've been messing around with the keywords. We need to improve on that, okay? But you can start to see lots of information. That was a lot of stuff I've gone through. I understand that, okay? And even after editing the video, there was a lot of stuff there. But if you go through systematically, you will be fine. And you can definitely improve your searchability on Google with people finding you. And look, some tips I want to give you right at the end right now. Once you've got your website on Google or wherever, don't give your URL link to people. Don't just say, here's the link, go and click. No, get them to search for you or your company or description, whatever. When they find you, page 10, page 20, whatever, get them to click the link and go to your website. Tell them to do it on their phone when they're out and about, because you'll be on a different IP address. If you have 5 computers at home and you do a search on all 5, it doesn't work. It's the same IP address. You can do it every day, but not at the same time on the same day, if that makes sense. So do it on your home computer, work computer, because that might have a different IP address if you have VPN. Do it on your phone when you're out and about, shopping, walking. Search, go to your page. Stay on your page for a minimum of 3 minutes. You know when you're on your phone, you can go to the page and then open a new window. Do that, open a new tab. You can do that on your computer. Open a new tab. You don't have to stare at the page. As long as it's open in the background, whatever, for a minimum of 3 minutes. It's good if they visit another page as well. Google will notice that, okay? Get your friends and family to do that for the next 7-10 days, okay? Sounds like a lot, but trust me, do it. Do Google My Business as well, okay? Get registered for that. It's free. Just do it, okay? It might take a week, but it's free. All of these things can make a massive difference in getting you from, say, page 15 on Google to page 2 or even page 1. We've got real world life examples where we've got people to page 1. Nothing on. We don't pay for promotions. We don't pay for advertisements. Okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to edit that out in case anyone says, "Oh, you edited it out." No, I'm not going to edit out that little bit. And the other thing you want to do is social media. Okay. And please, if you're struggling and you've done all this and you're not getting clients, make sure you watch the video we released 2 days prior to this. In fact, it was the day prior to this, how to get clients. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I hope this helps you out with RankMath, Google Analytics and all of that, connecting and all that. And of course, homepage or any other page when you're trying to get in your keywords. Like, subscribe, share, please do share and follow. Take care. I'll keep seeing you.